Hello flight simmers, hello viewers, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this first flight in the FSLabs A319. So recently we have introduced the A320 to my channel, and now here we are with the smaller version of the Airbus family, the A319, which yeah, of course is pretty close to the A320 as we saw in the last videos, and yeah, I'm sure there are minor differences which are surely modeled accurately by FSLabs. So this is for me also the first time loading the A319 in the sim. I hope it works quite the same way as the A320, otherwise I might be running in some sort of trouble. But I believe it should be close enough in order for this being operated the same way. We are here at Stockholm, Arlanda Airport in the beautiful SAS livery with the International Aero Engines engines mounted on the wings, and it's early morning time, and we can tell by this amazing morning light here. Pretty fancy, and also we have here at the ORBX Arlanda scenery a beautiful dynamic lighting, so it basically makes all the ground look almost as daytime really. Yeah, visibility is not totally great, but it should make up for a nice departure here. And we are on a very short flight today. We are going over to Gothenburg. Flight time only 47 minutes, so quite sure. Probably from gate to gate it will take us around 1 hour. I can see that baggage is coming in, boarding is also going on. I think refueling is already completed. We only have a small amount of fuel on board, 5 tons today. So that's for the setup. So I guess we are good to jump into the flight deck and let's do it. Yeah, so here we are, refueling is completed. I can see that there's quite some cold air coming in and temperatures are dropping. They started off at 20 degrees earlier. So what I'm going to do is fire up the APU, and then we can use APU bleed to give us a bit of warm air in the cabin and in the cockpit here. We don't want our passengers to freeze. Also, I'm quite excited about the PA announcement. I hope they work, since I've downloaded a file which brings the Corona-specific PA announcement, so very up-to-date passenger announcement if it works. I'm not 100% sure if I've installed it the correct way, but we will see. Okay, flaps should be open by now. Let's go ahead and start the APU. And yes, we have, or I have, inserted some data already. 0 fuel at 57.5, block fuel 5.1 only, so we are very light today. We are waiting for the takeoff data before we can request the performance data. But all in all, and there is some, I'm just hearing there's some custom-made announcement going on. It's in Swedish. Let's see what they say in English, if it's really Corona related. Alright, winds are also loaded in. And thus we are looking quite good. We can have a look at the weather for Stockholm. Current METAR. So it is winds 7 knots from 180, so we'll be going out of runway 19 left today, so that's pretty much on the nose, perfect. Yeah, visibility 5 miles, which is certainly okay. We have seen worse before. Low hanging broken cloud cover, 8 degrees outside temperature. Altimeter is 1003. And yes, that's about the weather. Also, since it is a very short flight, let's also have a look at the destination weather, since we also want to set up our arrival already now. Okay, and that will be quite similar, in fact, also 8 knots of wind. Oh, low visibility, 150 feet only. That's very low. Let's see if this clears up during the morning. Otherwise, it will be quite an interesting approach. Okay, still waiting for the data. Flap is open. Now let's see if this works. If we put AP bleed on, and then PEX should come on in a second. And then we hopefully get a bit warmer air inside. Okay, it's still cold, but I hope it's coming up soon. Yeah, so regarding the departure out of 19 left, and that departure route will be the, let me have a look on my charts. I think it would be the Rockney 5Q. Yeah, Rockney 5Q, there it is. And there is one constraint, which is the first waypoint, where we want to be below 220 knots and above 1,500, and we are estimated for 2,700, so that's plenty. And other than that, no further constraints. So we do the right-hand turn. We can see it here. Yeah, so we depart to the south and then do a right-hand turn, and we will do that after reaching 530 feet. Yeah, after 530 feet, actually, we do the first small adjustment towards this waypoint, but that should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so initial climb clearance is 5,000. That goes in there. And in terms of arrival, we should also set up for that. And we will be in on ILS 21. And the arrival route will be the Moxa to Tango. Moxa to Tango, there we are. Insert. And then let's see if this works. Yeah, so inserting the arrival, we always do it on short flights, since for flight planning it's quite essential to know where top of descent is, since it's coming up rather fast. Okay, apparently there's a bit of an offset, but I'm sure we can fix that. Maybe it will be direct, right? I think we can get rid of Maxif and then just go in direct like that. Yeah, I think that makes more sense, definitely. Okay, cruise altitude will be 360. Let's see if we actually get there on this short flight. And yes, okay, now we're getting some warm air, some super warm air, in fact. So cabin temperatures should come up. Cockpit is already at 21. Let's not make it too hot. Alright, so now we are really just waiting for the next message to come in, then we can do the performance request. Alright, so boarding should be finished soon, and in the meantime we have received a message which is the performance data. That's perfect, so we can go ahead and request that, since that will also take another second. So 19 left, runway of departure, and this can stay as it is. I'm wondering, do we need anti-ice? I don't think we do, so that should be fine. Okay, estimated takeoff weight is 62.4. And center of gravity 31.1. We always have to round here. And let's go flap 1, that should certainly be enough. And then the weather, and that was 180 at 7. Temperatures of 8 and QNH 1003. Alright, let's send that off.
Cabin crew boarding completed.
Boarding is completed, that's perfect, and also we need to send the fuel report. There's the Swedish announcement going on in the background, that's pretty cool. So that's done as well, and now we're pretty much just waiting for the data. And also earlier on we got a message that we are a bit delayed, 13 minutes delay. So not 6:15, estimated out of box time 6:28, but I think we can make it slightly before that. Should be fine. Okay, thrust reduction, acceleration, I think it can stay at 1.6. That should work. Transition is 5,000. Final load sheet, 145 packs plus 0, so that's all in line with what we got. And now we're just waiting for the performance. Okay, here's the performance. So we will have packs on, NTS off, trim down 0.1, so flap 1 down 0.1, and then flex 61, that's of course super high since we are very light, and speeds 123, 124 and 130. So that's quite a big difference compared to the A320. Didn't know it was that much of a difference, but it's much lower. Okay, and now let's get out of here. Prepare for pushback. Yes, please. Fuel pumps go on. And beacons. I'm wondering if jetway is disconnecting automatically.
Hello, Captain.
Sure.
We are ready for pushback.
Okay, apparently there's a standard pushback for this gate, whatever that means. Let's try it out. And we can get rid of external power. I hope it's going to be disconnected automatically, but it should be. Maybe let's double check. Disconnect.
Departure check completed.
Okay.
Wipe has been inserted.
Can lock the door.
Release parking brakes.
And brakes release.
Commencing push. All
Starting
engines
lock
clear.
time.
Start at wheel.
And also we are cleared to fire up those engines, and so we will do. So starting number 2.
Cabin crew, doors, cross check and report.
I'm quite curious how these engines work on the A319, since those are super powerful engines. I think we're going to shoot right up. 370 departing, there's an A320 as it looks like taxiing. Apparently AI traffic is using different runways here. That was not 19er, and this one is going to 19er right, I guess.
If oxygen is needed, a panel above you will open and masks will appear. Remove the face mask, hold down
Set parking brakes.
Place it over your nose and mouth.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Okay, so apparently this is the standard pushback for this gate, and this makes a lot of sense. And then we can taxi out to the left.
Under your seat, hold the vest over your head and pass the strap around your waist.
Okay, I believe engine number 2 is running.
When leaving through the exit,
Let's fire up number 1.
Inflation can be adjusted on board.
Alright, engines are running, that's perfect. APU bleed goes off. APU goes off. Taxi lights go
Left is
on.
clear,
Flaps
right
1.
is clear.
Flight controls, full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral and rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Okay, trim goes down 0.1. There we are. And let's switch this to the nose wheel steering. And I believe we are good to go. This goes back to normal. Alrighty, so releasing the parking brake, and now we should taxi on our own, and there we go, right away. And now here in Stockholm there are designated taxi routes for depending on the runway where you want to go to. And now we taxi straight out and take the second turn to the right, and then follow this taxiway all the way around. To be honest, it would make more sense in terms of taxiing time to go out runway 19 right. But for some reason this aircraft on the flight radar this morning was taking 19 left, and that's why we do it as well. So that's Zulu, and the next one should be Yankee. And we are closing up on this guy rather fast. Yeah, I was recently reading up a bit about single engine taxi procedures, which are very standard with many airlines these days to save a bit of fuel and also reduce the engine runtime. And I think it would make a lot of sense with this aircraft. I'm not sure if we can do it down in Gothenburg though, since we have probably a short taxi, and there needs to be some time after thrust reverse for cool down, so you can't immediately shut the engine off. You have to wait a little bit at least. But let's see this once we get there. Okay, this goes all to on. Let's put terrain over on this side, and then here we can take the predictive wind shear and the weather radar. Okay, now we will follow taxiway X-ray, and he's going straight ahead to 19 right. This gets really fast. I'm really not putting any power in. It's just idle. And that's me steering the aircraft once again. Okay. Auto brake, go to max. We can arm these spoilers or not. Let's try again in a second. There we are. Okay, and TO config, all green. Alright guys, and it will be a bit of a taxi. I will meet you down at the runway. Alright, so we have almost made it. Runway is coming up. So let's put this transponder on, tilt above. And then let's see, can we take this entrance? I think so, that should work. Yeah, this aircraft is really getting crazily fast. And there was some other aircraft just departing out of 19 right. I would assume that normally there are no parallel departures allowed. However, I will not put much effort into this right now, as there's no way to see if there's any aircraft departing off the other runway. So we can very much focus on our own departure, and that looks rather stunning with a sort of mystic lighting down the runway here. Cool. So we are all set. This is going back to rudder. We will start the timer and then off we go. Okay, about 50% of thrust right now. Power is established, and then we go to flex. Man flex, SRS and runway, 61 degrees of derating. And maybe we can get a quick look outside. And we are speeding up rather fast. That's V1, rotate. And off we go, gears coming up. Okay, I'm gonna stay in the cockpit now since the first turn is coming up rather fast. And that looks pretty stunning. Alright, so now we are already heading into the clouds. And then I'm already looking forward to the moment where we break through them. Okay, climb power. And flaps up and autopilot on. Beautiful, even a bit of wing flex there. And we are into that right-hand turn. Disarm the speed brakes. It looks like we are already... Oh no, we're still in the clouds. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, together with my colleagues, I would like to welcome you on board SAS. The safety of our travelers and employees will always be our highest priority. Due to the current situation,
okay, let's get this to cruise level.
Initiatives to reduce the number of interactions on social
was
distancing.
3.6 if I'm not mistaken, yes.
You will notice the following changes.
Optimum is 3.05 for that short flight.
Please note that consumption
Also quite interesting.
on board is not allowed.
Alright, and there's finally a bit of sun over there. And that looks like the cloud tops already. Pretty amazing. Nice, coming through the clouds. I love that moment. Cool, alright guys, closing in on 10,000, so landing lights go off as well. And thus we had a good departure out of Stockholm, and then I will see you back very soon when we start to descend into Gothenburg. Enjoy! Hello folks, welcome back. We are pretty close to Gothenburg already, just about to pass through 10,000 feet, and that's why we'll put the landing lights on. And yes, it will be a pretty interesting landing due to low visibility. But before we get to the actual facts, I briefly want to mention that I've set the weather to the sort of the normal, the old weather mode. This is simply because weather depiction in this mode is much better compared to enhanced atmospherics, and I don't want to get the same looks as I got back in Iceland. So that's why I've switched that over cloud textures, and now don't look that great anymore, but at least we will have the correct weather down at the airfield. And this is probably pretty interesting. Last I checked, there was really no visibility at all. We are going to do this again and see if it has changed by any means. So here it is. Let's see, visibility 100 meters, so that's still super low. And this is quite interesting for us. Sorry, that's 0.1 mile, I think. And this is the most interesting fact for us. It is for the runways, so runway 0321. We are landing on runway 21, and this is the runway visibility range, and this is 400 meters. And 400 meters is not a lot, and that's why we will fly in ILS category. Now the question is, are we flying category 2 or category 3? Vertical visibility is 200 feet, and I believe we should be good with a Cat 2 approach. And the way it works is, decision altitude will be 606 in terms of barrow. Radio would be 100. You know, from normal ILS approach we have decision high of 200. So now we have 100. That means that when we get to 100 feet above ground level and we can't make out any lights of the airport or the runway, then we will need to go around. And in case that happens, we will simply climb straight ahead up to 3,000 feet and then probably just do the whole thing again, and then next time with a category 3 ILS approach, which would then be a fully automated landing. I'm not too sure what real-world procedures are for this. Like with these kind of weather, would pilots fly in ILS 3 or would they do ILS 2? I have no idea. I just assume that they would need to decide like at this point in time what kind of ILS they are flying. It's not like last second decision, certainly not. So I'm not too sure about this. Anyhow, we will try with an ILS category 2 approach, so which means we will land the aircraft manually. We just have a lower decision altitude. Alrighty, yeah, we are going down to 3,000 feet, at which altitude we will intercept the glide slope. It has been a pretty short cruise actually. We have been at cruise levels literally like a second, and then already start the descent. Now we are heading into the clouds. There's no weather on the radar, which at least is good, so we don't need any anti-ice. Okay, we are past this, and QNH 1003, that's already set. Perfect. All right, then let's see when we can intercept the glide slope. And yes, I hope this is going to be a good landing. We have set auto brake medium, which we have a long runway available, but still with bad visibility we want to come to a stop quickly. Also, we have received a gate earlier. Let me see and find it. So stand number 12, that will be ours. 7:14 is the expected time of arrival, which is 6 minutes from now only. So yes, we are pretty close in fact. So now we are about 15 miles out. We can already soon start to set some flaps. Now I think it's getting a little bit shaky. Yeah, we can see that better on the wing flex. All right, and we are past the deceleration point as well, so aircraft starting to slow down. And by the way, the registry, the Oscar Yankee Kilo Bravo Papa, that's the same registry as the real-world flight which was operated earlier today. So we have a pretty realistic setup here. Okay, flaps 1. And we can slowly see the localizer coming in.
2500.
And yes, I should also mention I have switched AI traffic off entirely now because I really don't want to get any That's a cabin call, okay. I really don't want to get any AI traffic on the runway, especially now as we can't see it down there. And I'm just remembering, just for the sake of reality, we should set it below, although there's no traffic. Okay, localizers captured. We can arm approach mode and flaps 2. And then we can put all the lights on. So this goes to taxi, and when I turn off lights go on as well. Landing lights are set. Everything else looking good pretty much. Alright, and that's the glide slope. And also we will operate both autopilots now, which would also enable us for the category 3 ILS approach. We can see it here. But since we still want to land the plane manually, we are not doing an ILS category 3 right now. Okay, still 20 knots of wind, but that's supposed to get less closer to the ground. And I think we can go flap 3 and drop the gear. And there's really nothing to see down there. Not at all. And flaps full. Okay, since we are super light, I mean landing speed is 126 and we are on a full flap config, I think I will disarm the auto brakes rather soon after touchdown, and then I think idle reverse is absolutely more than enough as well. Alrighty, so wish me luck for this landing. It's kind of interesting. First time for me flying the FSLabs A319, and we are right away in some bad weather conditions. So let's see how this works out. Okay, landing all green. So we are in a good landing config. Now we just need to see some lights down there. Okay, 1,000 above. Means we have 900 feet to go to make a decision.
Terrain.
Okay. That was quite interesting. That's scary when we get a terrain call so close to the ground, but there shouldn't be anything in our way now. Okay, still can't see anything. We are at 900 feet now, 300 feet to go to decision height. Oh boy, it's gonna be a close call.
100 above.
100 feet to go.
200.
There's some trees.
100.
Yeah, there are the lights. My aircraft. Continue.
50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 10. 5.
And touchdown. Idle reverse. Whew. That was close, and manual braking. Okay, wow. That was really a last second call. Idle forward. Okay, wow. I haven't had it like that before, like ever before. Pretty crazy stuff, but we've made it down safely. Okay, let's switch around, and we can take this exit. Alrighty, welcome to Gothenburg, guys. Look at this visibility, close to none. Okay, let's do a bit of clean up. This goes to standby, and we need to take a left-hand turn, and then we can also set up the gate. Okay, that's really bad visibility. But the category 2 ILS was exactly the right call for us. That was perfect. Let's go to taxi. I will leave those on. Strobes go off. This will all stay on as it is. And now let's see. This should be kilo. I'm not sure. Show all positions. 12. Yeah, flight time. I should stop that. 48 minutes. So really a short flight here. Let's see, APU. Flap is open. Start the APU. And then I wonder if I can shut down one engine. That would be pretty cool since we're getting really fast. I'm not sure what. That's kilo. Okay, so we have a bit more to go. I'm not sure what, like how much time you need to give the engine before we can shut it down. But I hope it's long enough now. So shutting down number 1. Just will make taxiing a bit easier. And now we are of course pulling to the left. Okay, that's Juliet, and next up will be hotel, and then we can take hotel. Yes, here it is. And let's see how we are taxiing on one engine. I think we can easily hold the speed. Okay, so the fact that I've switched off all AI traffic doesn't even make any difference since we couldn't see them anyway. Have I missed anything crucial in terms of setup? I don't think so. Should be good. Okay, well now we need to take another left-hand turn, and then it's sort of 2 gates from here over there, I think. Yeah, we are still speeding up even on one engine. And there are the GSX guys. Perfect. Ooh, I'm still a bit excited about this landing. Now, that was pretty cool. Okay, that's our gate. I can't see any marshal. I will probably take an outside view to get a good parking here. Okay, let's switch off the lights. Don't want to blind anyone. Oh, that's already off. Oops. Okay, let's do it like this today, since it's a sort of a static jetway, and we have to make sure to stop right next to it, otherwise we can't connect. I think that should work. Alrighty, parking brakes and shutting down. Number 2 APU is running already. Perfect. Beacons come off, seat belts, all the fuel pumps. APU is running, yes, please. Sweet. Okay, looking good on here.
Cabin crew, disarm doors and cross-check.
That's right. And then block time, 1 hour 3 minutes. Go back to init, and yeah, in is now, so that should be 7:21. And then back to ground connections. See what's set up here. Let's do the air conditioner as well to get some warm air inside the aircraft. And then this is available. And then we can switch off the APU. And that's all set in the flight deck. Alright, and on that note, guys, welcome once again to very foggy Gothenburg. That was a pretty cool approach. Haven't had something like this in a very long time, and it's the first time on the sim. So I hope you guys like that, and hope to see you again next time. Take care.